The film adaptation of Stephenie Meyer's Twilight hit theaters on November 21st, 2008. I went to the midnight showing of the movie, and while I'd love to tell you guys that the movie was perfect and better than the book, I can't possibly say that, and I knew beforehand that I couldn't possibly say that. While the Twilight movie was extremely good, it really was awesome, it could never live up to the book. There's no way that any of those could ever live up to their book counterparts, but like I just said, it was awesome. I gotta say, at the midnight showing, it was really awesome to be in that theater because everyone was screaming whenever a character was like introduced on screen and stuff. I love that excitement in a movie theater, so that was really awesome for me. Visually, it was just excellent. The acting was great for the most part, the music was great, the directing was pretty good, and just overall it was a really, really great movie. Of course, it did have many flaws, and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people complaining about various parts that they didn't see from the book to the movie, and vice versa. But, like I said, overall, it was an excellent movie. So the acting was pretty good. The only things are that Edward, Robert Pattinson, the way he portrayed Edward was not really how Edward is in the books. Edward seems a lot more, like, serious and romantic in the books, and then in the movie he's kind of, like, nervous and, you know, not as perfect as he's supposed to be in the books. So that was something that I thought that they could have just done, made him less nervous and stuff and more serious. But I guess that's how Robert Pattinson wanted to do it, even though it's wrong. Oh well. Kristen Stewart. It's really funny because all I've been reading recently is how Kristen Stewart's been like, oh, well, you know, we are great actors here. We're really good actors. You didn't hire little Disney actors. Kristen Stewart sucked. Okay, she didn't suck, but she was probably my least favorite of all of the characters in the whole movie. Not until, like, the very end did I see any inkling of her loving Edward. Like, it was really, really bizarre. At no point did I ever think to myself, like, wow, yeah, she really looks like she loves Edward. Anyone who sees the movie that hasn't read the books is going to be like, does she like him? Or, like, why, all of a sudden, why is she hanging out with him? Really weird. Kristen Stewart did a pretty bad job with that, to be honest with you. Luckily, though, it's just good enough that she doesn't mess up anything else, really, so that's okay. Taylor Lautner as Jacob Black is the best character-actor match. I cannot wait to see New Moon, and by the way, there's definitely going to be a New Moon because this movie is going to make way more than the money that they thought that they needed, definitely. I cannot wait to see New Moon because, like I just said, Jacob was just so awesome. He was not even in the movie that much, and he was like one of the best people in the whole movie. Okay, the directing wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't that great. It was kind of just okay for me. It was not really, you know, it was definitely not amazing, and, you know, it was just okay. Visually, this movie was awesome, like, oh, it was awesome! The locations were the closest to perfect of the, you know, book to the movie that you could possibly get. It was really, really, really good. Whoever the director of photography was really good, though, because there was a lot of great shots and a lot of awesome camera angles. And the special effects were okay. Some of them were a little goofy, but that is to be expected because Summit Entertainment is not a big production company, so it's not like they have that much money to put towards special effects, so that's understandable if you think about that. And make sure that when they are in the diner the second time, you watch out because Stephenie Meyer has a little cameo. You cannot possibly miss her. But she's sitting there at the diner like a little bar sort of thing. She is writing on a laptop, so look out for her because that's pretty cool. Also, I just have to say, this movie was hilarious. Like, we were cracking up in the theater like half the time. It was a really, really funny movie, and you're going to probably be laughing in the movie too. So, I'm really happy that they had a lot of humor in the movie because that's one of the best parts of the movie, to be honest with you. Romance versus action in this movie. This definitely had more action over romance than the books did, that's for sure. I was kind of upset because I did want the romance to be in it. Yeah, I am a guy and I wanted the romance to be in it, you know, get over it. But the action was still cool. I would say that this movie was definitely more of an action-y movie than it was a romance movie, and most people are probably going to be upset by that. I am not upset by it so much as I'm just slightly disappointed with that. But, you know, whatever, like I said, it was just overall a great movie, so the action stuff was awesome, and also the fight scene was excellent, so that's great. Oh, and I have to say real quick that the supporting actors, Mike, Eric, Angela, Jessica, all of them, they were so excellent. They were one of the best parts of the movie, in my opinion, and I don't think that they're going to get the credit that they deserve, but I just want to put it out there that if any of them happen to watch this ever, you guys were awesome. And now a quick warning to anyone who has read the books, loves the books, and hasn't seen the movie yet. They can't fit everything in. This movie's only about 2 hours long, and, you know, the books last much longer than that. It's really condensed, and it's really fast-paced, so don't die when the meadow only lasts less than 30 seconds. Which it does. They did the best that they could, in my opinion, with keeping it to 2 hours long, and the reason that it can't be longer than 2 hours is because Summit Entertainment is not a huge production company. They can't risk people not going to see the movie because it's like 4 or 5 hours long. Once they've established that people are going to come back and keep seeing them, that's when they can start making them longer. Think of any other movie from a book to a movie adaptation. They keep getting longer because they know people are going to continue to see them. So just accept the fact that it's a little bit condensed and just try to enjoy the movie for what it is. A really great adaptation of the book. Not perfect, of course. Definitely not perfect. You can't possibly be perfect with this. But it's an excellent adaptation, and I think they did a great job with what they could do, and I really, really like the movie. I'm going to get a little specific about things in the movie, so if you don't want any of it spoiled for you, I mean, not spoiled for you because you probably read the books, but just spoiled of things that happen in the movie, I guess. Just don't watch the rest of this video until you see the movie, and then you can come back here and watch the rest. So that's my little warning for you. Do with it what you please. Now, there was a part right at the beginning in the biology scene when they first show Edward kind of meeting Bella, and there's like an owl statue sort of thing behind Edward, and it looks like he has wings, and I just thought that was cool. If not intentional, I thought it was a really cool shot, but it had to be intentional. It was too perfectly set up. I finally got the pronunciation of the reservation that the blacks live on. Quileute. I always said Quillette when I was reading the books. Like, in my head, that's what I always said. But whatever, it's Quileute, so I'm happy that I finally got that down. Okay, the meadow was seriously lacking, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me on this if you read the books. First of all, there was no meadow in the sense of a meadow. I pictured a meadow. I think most of us did, being that it's a meadow. But anyway, it definitely was not like a meadow in the movie. It was just kind of like the woods, and there was like a little space of light. And on this topic, the sparkling, what did you guys think of the sparkling from Edward's skin? I was expecting a little bit more of like a shine coming off of him, honestly, and this would be ridiculous. I'm glad they didn't do it, but in my head, I always pictured like rays of light bouncing off his skin. So I think that would have been really, really doofy to see in the movie, but in my head, that's what I always saw. I think a little bit more of the sparkle, just a little bit more of a shine from him would have been better, but it did come out pretty cool, and technically it stayed very true to the book, because Stephenie Meyer said that his skin looked like diamonds, and that it did in the film. So, just maybe a little bit more shine, and I would have been, like, perfectly happy with it. Kristen Stewart's version of Bella was really taking vampires in stride, like, to the point of it being laughable. I know in the book it's pretty quick that she just accepts that they're vampires, but I mean, come on. I know the movie has to be kind of shortened down, but come on, it was a little bit weird that she was just, like, hanging out with the Cullens, and it was not a big deal to her at all. Did you guys like that the vampires jumped around in this movie? I didn't really like it that much. I mean, it was okay. It didn't really bother me that much. But I think that they could have cut a lot of the jumping, because I'm sure it cost a lot of money to have, like, all the harnesses and stuff. They could have put that money towards other stuff. But, you know, that's just my opinion about the jumping, so whatever. And for those of you who are upset because of the lack of kissing in the movie, they cut out a lot of the kissing to save it for sequels. And that's really smart, because think about it. You're dying to see the sequels now because you want to see more kissing. Am I right? If they had showed full-on makeout sessions in Twilight, you wouldn't really care by the time New Moon comes, by the time Eclipse comes. You wouldn't care because you've seen all the making out already. It would just be the same thing. So it's really smart that they will make it, you know, more intense in the next one and then the next one. So that's a really good idea, but the kissing was pretty excellent, guys. I'm not gonna lie. So overall, I thought it was a fantastic adaptation of the book. I am sure there's going to be a lot of mixed opinions on this movie, from hated it to absolutely loved it to it was okay. Please let me know in the comments, guys, what you thought of the movie, because I'm very interested to see what everyone thought. Let me know what your favorite scenes were, like from the book to the movie, the adaptation, who your favorite characters were, what you thought of Edward, Bella, Jacob, everybody, every character in the movie. Let me know what you thought of them. Let me know what you thought of the special effects, the visuals, the fight scene, the lack of romance, and the increase of action. Let me know if you're excited for New Moon like I am. Let me know what you think of the fact that I'm a guy that loves Twilight. I know a lot of people think that that's funny, but it's true. And just overall, let me know what you thought of the movie as compared to the book, and just in general as a movie. Let me know what you thought about it, and that's pretty much it.